Maryville hockey starts in 10,
9,
8, 7, 6,
5,
4, 3.
2, 1. Now.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of Maryville Saints Hockey right here on the Maryville Saints Hockey Network. Alongside Todd Panula, I'm Andrew Marsh as the Saints will take on the Niagara Purple Eagles tonight, Game 2 of this two-game set. Todd, last night the Saints picked up a 4-2 victory on home ice, and I'm going to call it the Jake Chartier game. He was unbelievable, picked up a hat trick in last night's tilt, also had an assist, and we'll say maybe he had a fight as well, but he is in the lineup, so I guess at the end of the day, they did not make it an actual 5-minute fight. But either way, a great game last night, not only from Jake Chartier, but from the Saints as a whole.
Yeah, overall, I mean, statistically, it doesn't go down as a fight, and I think Chartier would rather be in the lineup today than not, but he had to put his hands up, and the helmet came off, so we'll call that still a Gordie Howe hat trick. But overall, it was a fantastic night for him. He figured into all the offense for the Saints. Obviously, scoring the goals was fantastic, but the setup on the goal that Wagner scored as well, he just had excellent vision. He was getting his nose dirty, getting in front of the net, scoring on some rebound goals as well. And it was just a fantastic night for him. And overall, it was the kind of night that you needed from him because he's been putting in the work and just hasn't necessarily had the stats to back it up. And they all came at once in one game.
Well, it was a 4-2 victory last night for the Saints, but it wasn't easy. It started off on the wrong foot, as we'll take a look at what happened last night. The Purple Eagles, they struck first. A.J. Vasco made it a 1-0 game. You look at Brett Ursulak, his stick breaks. Vasco goes in on the breakaway and puts it in the back of the net.
Yeah, I mean, that's such a frustrating feeling. Ursulak knows that the stick breaks. It sets it up perfectly for the opponent right there, but there's nothing he can do. I mean, you can't throw the stick at the players or you can't catch up. You'll be called for holding. It was just one of those plays, and Niagara took advantage of it.
Yeah, but the Saints end up responding. Jake Chartier, we mentioned a great game from number 77. He puts one in the back of the net right out front. That is where you need to plant yourself if you want to score goals, right outside the blue paint. And Jake Chartier picked up his first of the night in the first period and made it a 1-1 game.
Yep, making himself a nuisance, screening the goaltender initially and ultimately getting the goal as well. There was another player there for the Saints. Might have been able to put it in himself, but Chartier taking advantage of it.
And we head to the second period, and that is where the Purple Eagles struck once again. They made it a 2-1 game. It looked to be a shot from the point or from the top of the circle, a nice shot. And the Saints, they were down once again, and they responded once again thanks to the speed of Max Wagner. He picked up the loose puck inside his own zone, raced down the ice, made a few nifty moves on his way there. Didn't end up scoring, but guess who? Jake Chartier puts it home.
Yeah, and that's what you want. You want a player to follow it up. You don't want Chartier to just kind of fly by the net and hope that it trickles in, because I think the goaltender would have made the stop. I don't know if Wagner could have reached the stick around enough to poke that in. So you have to have Chartier following that up. Otherwise, the complexion of the game is completely different. But as it was, he charged in on net, got the goal, tied things up.
And we head into the third period of last night's game, all knotted up at 2. It was a tight one throughout the third frame, but a great passing sequence right here. Jake Chartier over to Max Wagner, and he buried it to make it a 3-2 game, and the Saints would not look back. The Purple Eagles ended up pulling the goalie, and that is where Jake Chartier capitalized and scored the hat trick.
Yeah,
just go ahead and look at both of these teams head-to-head. The Saints picked up their 7th victory of the season. They give Niagara their first loss of the year, and now you look at that point differential, at least the goal differential. We talked about that heading into last night's game. Niagara looked pretty good, and the record would show that, and that makes the Saints win that much more impressive.
Yeah, statistically, you come in, you don't necessarily know a whole lot about the Purple Eagles. There isn't a whole lot of history between these two teams. So you can only go on the record that they had coming in. They were undefeated, 8-0 coming into this game. But the Saints came out, as we talked about in yesterday's game. They had lost 3 straight prior to a win against Liberty, but that Liberty win seems to have kind of injected the enthusiasm back in because other than some miscues, I mean, if you don't give up that weird goal off the Ursulak broken stick, really the Saints were the better team throughout 60 minutes.
Yeah, they certainly were, and Lucas Bain stopped 18 of 20 last night in the 4-2 victory. He will not be between the pipes tonight. It's going to be Parker Saka, who will be the netminder for the Saints, looking for his second win of the year, as he has an .885 save percentage and a .331 goals against average. Perhaps looking for that first shutout. We always like to mention the shutouts. We love it as a broadcaster, and we also love not jinxing it throughout the broadcast. So the Niagara Purple Eagles, we've seen they can put the puck in the back of the net. They got out to the early lead. For Parker Saka and the Saints, what is the key to slowing Niagara down early in this game?
Well, it's kind of interesting because the two things are almost at opposite ends of what you want. As the goaltender for Saka, he wants to see some action early. He'd like to get a couple direct shots, feel the puck a little bit, get himself settled in. Defensively for Maryville, they don't want to allow a whole lot of shots. You don't want to see what we saw in the women's game just a little bit ago, 50 shots against. So Saka doesn't want that much work. But he's in kind of a weird situation because he was injured all of last year. So I think right now in the early part of this season, he's still trying to get himself back in the flow of things. You can practice all you want. You can do all the drills. A game is still a different situation because you've got those screens, you've got those bounces that you just can't predict. And right now he's just trying to get himself rolling, as we saw his record 1-1-1. So it's been a little bit of a slow start, but he came in figuring himself the number one goaltender. He's got to go out there and prove it, though, because he's got 2 guys behind him that are chomping at the bit.
Well, the Saints are ready to go. The players are heading onto the ice. Let's look at our projected starting lineup for tonight. Jackson Zloty will be on left wing. Centering that line is Max Wagner. He had the game-winning goal last night. And on the right wing, you have Jake Chartier, who was the player of the game last night. On the back end, Brett Ursulak and Benji Rutkai. That is the defensive combo for the Saints. And then in between the pipes, like we just mentioned, Parker Saka. We'll see if the Saints can pick up win number 2 this weekend against the Niagara Purple Eagles. We'll have all the coverage for you coming up next. We appreciate you tuning into tonight's Saints pregame show. Puck Drop is coming your way next right here on the Maryville Saints Hockey Network.
The Maryville Saints Hockey Network welcomes you to the following presentation of the American Collegiate Hockey Association.
Warning. Warning. This is a warning to the St. Louis area. Please be on the lookout for them dogs. 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 Dogs.
Taking it minute by minute, becoming the hero I came to become. Knowing I do what I do, and I do it, I ain't gonna stop till it's done. Can never fool me, I got all it takes. I'm gonna stick to my guns, never be losing my cool. I'ma stay where I am when the rest of them run. I'ma burn it to the ground like a flamethrower. I'ma do the buzz like a chain smoker. Keeping the pace in the race, I'ma chase who I am. I'll be blowing the horn. I see the infinite possibilities, cause I'm in the eye of the storm. I am the storm.
Drop pass, Adam shoots, scores! Maryville strikes first. Rebound, shot, they score! Hollis Saints get up on shot, shoot, score! First shot, they shoot, they score! What a goal! Rebound, they score! Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Maryville Saints Hockey Network. Alongside Todd Panula, I'm Andrew Marsh. As the Saints have a date tonight with the Niagara Purple Eagles. The Saints picked up a 4-2 victory last night, looking for the sweep in this two-game set. Between the pipes tonight for the Saints is Parker Saka, and on the other end for the Purple Eagles is Brady McEwen.
Yeah, a little bit interesting to see the Purple Eagles go with the same goaltender back-to-back, especially when they have 4 goalies listed on their roster, and I believe they've got 3 that are dressed. But ultimately, McEwen wasn't the reason why they lost last night, so giving him another bite at the apple.
We mentioned in the pregame that Brett Ursulak and Benji Rutkai are a combo on the back end for the Saints. It will be Brett Ursulak and Colt Corpse once again starting this game. And we'll assume that both will end up playing with their respective defense partner as the night goes on. We are underway here in Chesterfield, Missouri. A great October Saturday night. As that puck is dumped in, Corpse back to retrieve it for the Saints. Finds Lottie. He'll flip it up in the air. It's gloved down just inside the zone. Shot on, stop made by Saka, and we'll get a whistle 20 seconds into this first period. Todd, you mentioned in the pregame, Parker Saka wanting to see shots early. Well, he saw one 20 seconds in.
Yeah, and not too much trouble on the save, and that's kind of what you want to get in the early going. You want to have not necessarily an easy shot, but you don't want like a backdoor play to where you got to stretch out and overextend yourself right off the bat.
Face-off won by the Saints. Ursulak near side on the backhand into the neutral zone. Bouncing puck. It's at the blue line. Knocked away. Olsen takes a hit. Niagara with it. Falling down. A chance. Shot on, and that one is stopped by McEwen as Hunter Flores picked up that puck a few feet away from the crease, and a huge stop early for McEwen.
Yeah, the Saints would really like to bury that. I mean, anytime you get a shot attempt, you would, but when it's a clear-cut turnover like that right in front of the net, you'd like to put it in the back of the net, but McEwen stood tall, and Saints will just have to try to win the face-off.
Saints off the draw. At the point, dumped down low. It rims around to the far side of the ice at the half wall. Purple Eagles able to come out with it. That's Taylor. Loses the puck inside the neutral zone. Flipped in by Talifer. To the near side, over the stick of Olsen. Turned over at the red line. Entering in is Niagara. Shot. That one high of the cage. Far side of the ice for Henderson. To the middle, Olsen at the red line. Dumps it in. In on the forecheck is Campbell McLean. It goes just by his stick. Coming out of the zone, Talifer with it. Hits the blue line. Able to get it in. Lucas Adams to Edwards. Edwards, one-touch pass. Corpse to McLean. He'll guide it in. Back for it is Studebaker. Far side corner. Flipped out of play. And we'll get a whistle with 18:22 left to go here in the first period.
I like the fact, though, that Maryville is a little sharper in the first minute and a half here than we saw yesterday, because yesterday they really kind of allowed Niagara to take it to them in the first couple minutes, and then they settled in, not allowing that opening push from the Purple Eagles here tonight thus far.
Offensive zone face-off for the Saints. Kicked at, won by Maryville. Edwards with it, shot on, and it rings right off the post. Puck comes out of the zone as Adams got tangled up with the linesman. He dumps it in, puck behind the net.
Great idea, though, to come over towards the right hash mark, cut it back towards the blocker's side, just curled it off the toe of the stick a little too much.
Rink-wide pass goes under the stick of Corpse, as that was an errant pass for Niagara. Corpse will set up shop behind his own net. He'll take it up near side, finds his defense partner in Lucas Adams. Adams trying to find James Vermeers, who's back in the lineup. It's intercepted and flung back in, cross corner. Adams back for it, finds Vermeers. That pass intercepted at the blue line. Saints get it back, though. Vermeers makes a move in. Shot on, they score! What a play! The Saints take an early lead, 17-27, and a great goal by Chad McElwain to the backhand. What a pass from James Vermeersch, and the Saints are on top, 1-0 the score.
That's how you finish it off. I thought initially that he'd over stick handled on the play. You'd like to see him get that off one time, but he knows better than I do sitting up here in the booth, as we'll see it come from the left wing, now the middle. McElwain on the back door. He was able to just tuck it past the goaltender. Nice soft hands, able to lift it over the left leg of the goaltender, and it's 1-0.
So the Saints with an early lead last night. They went down 1-0, able to respond twice. They end up winning 4-2, and right now they have themselves a 1-0 lead. That shot goes off a stick and out of play. 17:02 left to go here in period number 1, and the Saints lead 1-0.
And that's a good reversal of fortune compared to yesterday. It's always good to show that you have that battle back within you, but more often than not, you want to be playing on your toes. You want to be on the front foot. You want to grab that early lead.
Saints win the faceoff. Ursulak on his forehand to the near side for Chartier. Chartier, rink-wide pass. Zloty gets it in. McEwen out of the net. Throws it to the near side. Shot on. Pad save made. Niagara going the other way. Dean Taylor hits the blue line. Shoots one on. Rebound, and that one goes wide. Purple Eagles with the puck. Some chaos out front. Good stop made by Saka. High slot shot. Hits off a body. Goes to the near side. Hash marks. Up the boards. Puck comes out of the zone. Coulter able to find Vasco. Vasco shoots one on, and Saka makes a stop. Wagner has the puck for the Saints. Exits the zone. Goes off the boards. Intercepted and thrown back in. Flores up the wall. No one there for Maryville. Niagara will go D-to-D inside their own zone. 4 minutes have gone by here in period number 1. Chad McElwain, inserted into the lineup tonight, has made it a 1-0 game in favor of Maryville. Saints put it in the zone. Olsen goes in for the check. Looked like he missed it as that puck is on the far side wall. Now coming to the near side at the blue line, making a move and evading the hit. And going off for a line change. I believe that is D'Amato. Sent in. Sometimes with these rosters, Todd, we don't have all the players.
They make it interesting for us for sure.
Puck inside the Purple Eagles zone, reversed. Below the goal line, turned over as Henderson drops down to a knee. He's fighting for the puck as the Saints pick it up near side. At the point, Corpse wrist shot on, hits off a body and goes into the corner. Board battle. Henderson comes out with it. Poked at the point is Corpse. Off the glass, back to retrieve it is Adams. He'll stop behind the net. Looks up, skates up ice, now to the far side. At the red line, able to get it in is Campbell McLean. Henderson in on the puck. Niagara exits the zone. Able to come out with it is Sochka. His shot goes out of play, and we'll get a whistle with 14:24 left to go here in the first period. The Saints still have the lead. It's 1-0, and they lead in the shot department as well. 4 shots to 3.
It's been a pretty good back and forth first 5.5 minutes. The Saints have really kind of kept things at bay for the most part. Saka looks like he's going to have to get his mask checked out. I think that shot that caught him on the right shoulder was just under the chin as well, so it might have knocked a strap loose. Hopefully that'll be a quick fix.
And in all the chaos that was, the Saints find themselves in the penalty box. Sam Edwards will sit for 2 minutes And Niagara will have themselves a power play. So a chance for the Purple Eagles to tie this one up. We'll see if the game script is flipped tonight. Hopefully that's not the case for Maryville.
And Niagara went 1 for 3 with the man advantage last night. Saints were able to kill off the first Purple Eagles power play, but they scored on the second. Maryville would like to continue that trend and at least kill off this first one.
So interference is the call against Edwards. Still working on that mask.
And that's the trouble you run into here at this collegiate level, is that more often than not, the goaltenders only have the one mask. A lot of times in the NHL, the referees will give them every opportunity to fix it, but they do have backup masks. And more often than not, that's not usually the case.
I wonder
if just from a financial standpoint, those things aren't cheap.
Right. I always thought the coolest thing about being a goaltender was the mask. You were able to customize that and make it your own. It would be interesting if every player could do that. I think that would look a little dumb. But that's the cool thing about being a goalie. The bad thing about being a goalie is, well, you're the last line of defense, and if the puck goes in, more times than not, it's probably your fault. Then again,
no.
Maybe it's not.
It's never the goalie's fault.
Coming from a former goaltender.
If you think about it, there was always something that could have happened leading up to that shouldn't have happened. So.
That's very true. Well, Saka is ready to go. The mask is fixed. And we are back to playing hockey. Niagara on the power play. That one may have came out of the zone. The referee says it did not, as that puck skips over the stick and comes out of the zone. Loft will take possession of it for Niagara. Now to the near side at the blue line. Sojka trying to whack that puck out of midair. Loft keeps it in at the blue line. Off the glove of Adams. He'll slap it. Turcotte picks it up inside of his own zone. It stays in. Niagara looking for the equalizer. Wrist shot on. There it is. It's in the back of the net. And able to put it in the back of the net is Jackson Studebaker with 13:48 left to go here in the first period. We are all tied up at 1.
Well, that was kind of the trend that I was talking about. Unfortunately, went the other way. So Niagara has managed to score on every other penalty that they've been given. Unfortunately for Maryville, that carried over from last night. So this was the 4th power play overall for the Purple Eagles. They're able to cash in. Good initial save by Saka. He saw it a little bit late, came off the blocker, but unfortunately it went right to a Niagara player, and even though Saka spread out as much as he could, he just couldn't cover that upper portion of the goal, and it's 1-1.
Bouncing puck inside the Niagara zone. They're able to exit the zone as Shabbat finds his man in Vasco, who dumps it in. Shabbat fires one on. It hits off a stick. Going the other way. A chance for the Saints and Luke McLeod, who's taken down. And now the Saints will head to the power play. 13:26 remaining here in period number 1. The Saints just gave up the tying goal. Now it's their opportunity to make it a 1-goal game as they now head to the man advantage.
Well, so far we've had kind of a mirror image of last night's game, but everything's been kind of in reverse. We'll see if that continues as well. Now Maryville, they've got a chance to answer. Last night they had to come from behind with their answers. Here tonight they have an opportunity to retake the lead.
Puck is loose off the face-off. Oh, a big hit on the far side of the ice. In the corner, puck in the air. Now at the point, we'll get a whistle with a hand pass. 1:49 remaining on the Maryville power play. 13-14 left to go here in the first period. So the puck will be dropped inside the neutral zone.
Unfortunate turn of events there for the Saints because they had stood up and weathered that hit, kept possession of the puck. Unfortunately for them, you just kind of try to play it forward with the glove, and it went to a teammate.
Loose puck for Wagner. Wagner in, and his shot goes just wide. Puck comes out of the zone.
I'd almost like to see him shoot glove side just because of the positioning of the goaltender. He was more set up towards that far post.
Wagner kicking at it. Puck comes out of the zone. 1-on-1. Talifer in. His shot goes high, and it hits the netting. We'll get a whistle. 12:47 remaining here in period number 1. 1:22 left to go on the minor penalty.
Saka's got to be wondering what's going on. He's had a couple go off the dome now as that one glanced off of him, and face-off will stay in the zone.
Niagara wins it. They'll retreat and send it down, or at least attempt to send it down the length of the ice as it's gloved down in the neutral zone by Sam Edwards. That puck just now inside the blue line. Maryville comes out with it. Henderson to Corpse. Corpse to Flores. Corpse gets it back. Back to the near side for Edwards. Edwards enters into the zone. Thought about throwing it around to the far side. Now he's pinned up against the boards in the corner. Finally does throw it to the far side, but no one there. Henderson trying to keep that puck in. It squirts out. Corpse finds Edwards at the red line. Edwards stops. Tries to go up the middle for Chartier. Edwards kicks at it. Could have been an offsides. It's going to be another penalty as Edwards was tripped up. 30 seconds left to go on the initial power play. They'll have 30 seconds, 5-on-3. 11:55 remaining here in the first period. It's a 1-1 game, and the Saints with a golden chance to take a 2-1 lead. 5-on-3 power play for 30 seconds.
Yeah, that worked out as well as it probably could for the Saints. Ideally, you'd like to see Edwards be able to cut through the middle, maybe get a shot off from the high slot, but as he was hauled down, the puck goes right to a Niagara player. No time wasted. You get as much time at 30 seconds on this 5-on-3.
Clear attempt does not work out for Niagara. Here's Ursulak. Near side. Wagner down low. Zloty back to Wagner. No one there for Maryville. Ursulak able to maintain possession for the Saints. Less than 15 seconds to go till it's 5-on-4. Ursulak looks up, far side, shot on. Nice stop made. Edwards into the skates of Wagner. Ursulak with it, top of the circle, wrist shot on. That one hit off the blocker and goes out of play, and we're back to 5-on-4. 1:28 now remaining in the Maryville power play. 11:23 left on the clock here in the first frame.
And again, the situation, you'd much rather score, but ultimately, given the opportunity to get a shot off, I always get nervous when they take a shot right as a guy's coming out of the box because you worry that the rebound comes back out in front and you spring a shorthanded break, but you went out of play instead.
Zloty's shot is blocked, far side corner. That puck dumped down the length of the ice. So Saka will come out of the cage and leave it for Ursulak. A couple good shots for the Saints. They had some looks. Still on the power play with about a minute to go. 5-on-4. Puck behind the net. Off the glass, bounces over the stick of McElwain. He'll go off for a line change. Back to retrieve it is Ursulak. 45 seconds left to go on the Maryville power play. Taking their time. Here they come. Skating up ice. Ursulak with it. Crosses the blue line. Far side. Henderson on his forehand. Wheels around the cage. Stripped of the puck. That one sent down. Saka will come out of the net, and he'll leave it at the goal line. Perhaps one last chance for Maryville on this 5-on-4 power play. Less than 20 seconds to go on the man advantage. Into the skates of Edwards. He goes offside, and we'll get a whistle. 10:07 left here in period number 1. We're all tied up. Maryville, back-to-back power plays. A 5-on-3 for 30 seconds. Had a few shots. Could not put it in the back of the net. Now there's only 12 ticks remaining until we're back to 5-on-5.
Yeah, it shows the importance of getting set up on the offensive end. They won that face-off, got a couple shots off, but then once Niagara was able to clear, it's been a bit of a struggle for Maryville to reestablish themselves.
Rutkai to Corbs, near side at the red line. Cross corner dump in. Flores on the puck. Far side hash marks. Both teams battling for it. It squeaks loose. Comes out of the zone. Olsen gains possession of it for Maryville. Rutkai trying to evade Logan Furlong. Off the boards, glove down by McCormick at his own blue line. Looks up, feeds it to Furlong off his stick, and he'll go in on the forecheck. Rutkai picks it up behind the net. To the near side, McLeod off the glass, just past Josh Olsen. One touch pass inside the neutral zone. Niagara turns it over. Felix Turcotte picks it up for the Saints. Floats it forward. McElwain pins that puck up against the boards. It squeaks loose. Looks like the official says it hit off the netting, so we'll get a whistle with 9:08 left to go here in the first period.
Well, I guess he's got better eyes than we do because I didn't see that.
I don't think the players saw it either. That puck was loose in the corner, and they were still pinned up against the boards. Saints will get themselves an offensive zone face-off with James Vermeers to take the draw. Off the glass, kicked at by Gallagher. Stays inside the zone. We saw a lot of that last night. Logan Gallagher doing a great job of keeping pucks inside the zone. Poirier keeps it in at the blue line. His shot a little too high. Kept in once again by Gallagher. Gallagher from the blue line, slap shot on, it's blocked. Puck comes out of the zone, and Poirier will go back. He'll scoop it up. Stretch pass, finds Felix Turcotte to Wagner. Vermeers looking for Wagner. It may have bounced right over his stick. Near side, Gallagher fires one on. That's well wide. Chartier for the Saints to the point. Shot, another one. Misses the cage. Vermeers takes a hit. Off the glass, sealing that wall is Gallagher. Keeps it in. Bouncing puck, it's in the air and now settled down by the Purple Eagles as they are able to exit the zone. But here it comes, right back inside the zone. Shot from a weird angle from Wagner. Going the other way with it though. Skating with speed, Cody Gudnason. His shot is stopped by Saka. And we'll get a whistle with 7:55 remaining here in the first period. Still a 1-1 game.
And those are the kind of things that I was talking about in the pregame, to where Saka looked good on the initial save, but it's just those little things that kind of come with time. Talking about rebound control, and that's kind of an overused term a lot in today's game because the pads are so firm that sometimes you can't control where the puck goes. But so far we've seen some of these Niagara shots exploding off his body.
And that one did not hit the body of Saka. It went right past him. It's a 2-1 game. Cullen McCormick, a shot from the point with 7:44 left to go here in the first frame. Niagara now has the lead. So the Saints scored first thanks to Chad McElwain. A power play goal for the Purple Eagles. And now they score 5-on-5 to take a 2-1 lead with less than 10 minutes to go here in the first period. So all the momentum that the Saints had after that first goal, that is now gone for at least the foreseeable future. Hopefully that changes here on this next shift.
And that's one of those tough plays for a goaltender. Fans always think that you should make the save there because it was kind of a shot from the middle of the zone, but there was enough traffic in front that Saka was basically just trying to make himself as big as he could. Unfortunately, it just snuck under the right armpit.
Turned over out front, and that shot is stopped. It may have hit off a body out front. Either way, that was not a great turnover to have if you're a Saint.
there such a thing as a great turnover?
Not really. Some turnovers are worse than others, though.
That's true.
Especially the ones that end up in the back of your net. Poirier to Henderson, back to Poirier. Far side of the ice for Olsen. No one there to enter into the zone. Going the other way with it is Kalen. Takes that shot and then took a shot of his own. Poirier takes one behind the net. Flores trying to find McLeod. McLeod working to get that puck out of the zone. It stays in, near side, off the wall. Olsen knocked down, but the puck comes out of the zone. Shabbat throws it right back in. Cross corner dump in. Gallagher behind the net on his forehand, fires one off the wall. That's going to go down the length of the ice. Arm is up, and we'll get an icing with 6:10 remaining here in period number 1. The Purple Eagles of Niagara have the lead. Shots are even at 9 apiece.
Yeah, the Saints just kind of need to take a deep breath. They're only down by 1. Obviously, the game has swung the wrong way from their perspective, but they're looking a little bit frenetic right now, a little disjointed on the last couple of shifts. You can kind of see they're a little bit frustrated, but the game is still right there for them. They just have to get that mentality that they had last night and find a way to come back.
Kicked at. What a play and what a goal. Off the draw, Charlie Bellinger puts his stick out right out front, goes right off the stick, right between the wickets of Parker Saka. And after taking an early lead in this one, the Saints have now given up 3 unanswered goals to the Purple Eagles. 3-1 the score with 6:08 remaining here in period number 1.
Well, now Maryville's really going to have their mental fortitude tested, down by 2. And we're seeing guys kind of float back up towards the center ice circle with their sticks on their knees. And they're pretty much deflated right now. I think there's still 6 minutes left in the period. You can't hope to get back to the intermission. You got to find a way to try to claw yourself back into this one in this period, I think.
Top of the circle, shot goes off a stick and out of play. 6 minutes on the dot left here in the first period. We saw earlier in the women's game, the Saints gave up 2 goals. They end up making the goaltender change, and then right after that, they put one in the back of the net. You have to wonder if that could happen here in this one. It's still a little early. We know the Saints can score themselves, so we'll see how that transpires throughout the game as we'll get an icing. 7 seconds have gone off the clock since our last whistle.
I could see it happening. I don't think Coach Hogan will do that because the Saints are kind of in a weird position to where they have 3 quality goaltenders. You can rely on any one of them, really, but ideally they would like to get Saka rolling because he came into the season as the penciled-in number 1, and it hasn't necessarily started the way that he would have liked.
Here come the Saints. Turcotte on his forehand at the hash marks. Guided one towards the middle of the ice, right in front of the blue paint. But the Saints are unable to capitalize on that offensive rush. Taillefer, right inside the blue line, dumps it in and will go off for a line change. Reverse to the near side. Saints with it. Rutkai, pardon me, that's Colt Corpse. Shot on, stop made, and we'll get a whistle. 5:18 left here in period number 1.
Yeah, the Saints kind of in a weird position there to where they might just need like a lucky bounce. Because I don't know, I just don't really like the body language that I'm seeing right now. And there's still more than 40 minutes left, so there's plenty of time to turn it around. But you can't let that kind of stuff snowball.
Off the face-off. Niagara put it in the corner, and they flip it out of the zone. No icing. Ursulak back with it behind the net. As we approach 5 minutes remaining here in period number 1, the Saints trail 3-1. Stretch pass off the stick of Chartier. Coming out of the net is McEwen. That puck knocked out of midair. Saints still with it. Down low, Wagner below the dot. Loses his handle of the puck. kept in at the blue line. Shot on, that's into the glove. McEwen will play it. Loft behind the net for McCormick. Taking his time behind the net. Looks up as some Purple Eagles change and get some fresh bodies out on the ice. High and hard off the glass, punched at the red line. Puck in the air to the far side. Furlong on the backhand gets it in. Saka out of the net to the backhand to Gallagher. That pass goes just behind Edwards, turned over. Studebaker in, lays a hit. Puck rolls to the near side at the hash marks. Gallagher able to find Logan Walker. He'll dump it in. Edwards gives chase, so does Walker. And Walker lays a huge hit. That should get the boys going. Walker with it. Pass to Gallagher, top of the circle, wrist shot on, and that one is stopped by McEwen. Didn't know where the puck was. And we'll get a whistle with 3:37 left to go here in the first period, as Gallagher almost made it a one-goal game.
Well, you pretty much spoke it into existence. Immediately after that hit, there was just a jump. You could see the jolt in that line. And they get a quality scoring opportunity, almost sneaking it under the goaltender's pad. He was just able to seal it down. The puck was literally underneath his leg.
We'll see if the Saints can feed off that momentum. Corpse throws it down low. Walker, pass out front, hit off his shin pad. Puck is in the air, it's gloved down, shot on. McEwen makes the stop. Puck behind the net, rimmed around to the far side. Adams with it to Henderson. Corpse with it now. He shoots one on. That one hits off the stick of Logan Walker, who was planted right out front. And a nice stop made by Brady McEwen. 3:14 left to go here in the first period. Still a 3-1 game in favor of Niagara.
What a 30 seconds or so, though, that we've seen from Walker. He lays the big hit, jolts the energy into his team, gets a scramble play on the far side, and then a great deflection here on the near side as well.
Puck is loose off the face-off. Purple Eagles come out with it. Far side, it's in the skates. Saints now with it. Thrown down low. Puck behind the net. In on the forecheck is McLean. Now to the near side hash marks. Flung out of the zone. Bouncing puck kicked at. Now in the middle of the ice. Henderson just inside the blue line. He skates past the big red end. Finds Olsen. Knocked away to the corner near side. Puck below the dots. Hits off a few sticks. Goes to the far side of the ice. Now brought back down below the goal line. Sticks are being lifted. Both teams working for the puck. Henderson places it below the goal line behind the net. Tripping over my words here, Todd. As there's a big hit by Olsen. Kept in. Henderson on his forehand in the corner. Tries to feed one up top to Corpse. Puck comes out of the zone. Adams with it. 2:10 left here in period number one. Turcotte gets it in. He'll go in on the forecheck with speed. Takes a spill. Back to the near side. McCormick gathers it. Floats it out of the zone. Picking it up is Gunnarsson. His shot goes just past the glove of Saka. Another shot to the near side. It may have bounced over the stick of Talifer. Knocked out of midair. We'll get a whistle for a high stick. 1:43 remaining here in the first period. The Saints lead in the shot department 13-11, but it's Niagara who has the lead. 3-1 the score.
Yeah, and I think we're starting to see the Purple Eagles show their hand a little bit because they're just kind of chucking stuff towards the net. Understandably so, because the way that some of these pucks have gone in, I think they feel like Saka is a little bit shaky, so they're just wanting to get anything they can towards the net and see what happens.
So we'll have a face-off inside the neutral zone because of the high stick. Saints win it. Rutkai finds Ursulak, who skates up ice, loses his handle of the puck. Bouncing puck inside the neutral zone. Vermeers looked like he got hooked. He's fighting for it. Rutkai picks it up for the Saints. Less than 90 seconds to go here in period number 1. Turcotte, far side of the ice, has Vermeers with them, but they go offside with 1:17 left in the first period.
That's just been kind of how the night's gone thus far for the Saints. It's a step off here, pass not quite on there. You feel like if they can connect just a little bit more that things will fall their way, but sometimes you have to make your own luck.
If you're Coach Hogan, what are you saying to the boys in the dressing room?
I don't know. I almost feel like maybe this is one of those that he just kind of lets them go, because we kind of joke every once in a while, but we've kind of found out that it really is the case. He either goes in there and just lays it hard on, or sometimes he just doesn't go in the locker room at all. And I kind of wonder if maybe you just let the guys figure it out, at least in this intermission, and then if it doesn't change, he employs a different tactic in the next intermission.
Chartier with it. His shot is blocked. At the point, Corpse plays it down low. 40 seconds remaining in the period. Far side hash marks, and there's a big hit at the half wall, but the Saints still have it. In the slot, puck is loose, squirts to the near side. Less than 30 seconds to go here in period number 1. A shot from the point is kicked away. Second attempt, knocked out of midair. Even if it went in, I think it perhaps could have been a high stick, no goal. Doesn't matter. Puck behind the net. Henderson on his backhand, spins away. 7 seconds left. Henderson with it at the point. Poirier, wrist shot is blocked. Puck to the corner, and that'll do it for period number 1. So after 20 minutes of play, it's a 3-1 lead for the Niagara Purple Eagles. The Saints took an early 1-0 lead thanks to Chad McElwain, but it's been Niagara ever since. We'll have 40 minutes left to go here in this one. We'll break the first period down in our intermission report, so don't go anywhere. You're watching Maryville Saints hockey right here on the Maryville Saints Hockey Network.
Welcome to Maryville University,
Welcome to Saints Nation.
home of the Big Red M.
So what does it mean to be a Maryville Saint?
It's more than just going to classes.
As Saints, we are passionate about what we believe in.
We are open-minded and curious about other points of view.
And we know this about life at Maryville.
Your best experiences will happen when you get involved.
Make sure to get involved on campus.
We work hard.
But we have a lot of fun too.
We have a passion to see each other succeed.
You might have a few hiccups along the way.
Or maybe something more serious. When we run into adversity,
We have faculty and staff here to provide support.
We stand with our fellow Saints through the good times
And the difficult times.
So be sure to seek out help when you need it.
we know that here at Maryville,
We are never alone.
The spirit of Maryville flows through each person that steps foot on our campus.
Being a Saint is that feeling that Maryville University is your community.
That even when you're far away from home,
You are home.
We're on this journey together.
We are Maryville University.
One team, one family.
There comes a time where it's going to get harder and more difficult, but to never lose that focus of enjoying the game is so important. Leon Draisaitl from Cologne, Germany, Edmonton Oilers. For me, it started early. My dad played, so it ran in the family a little bit, and always wanted to play in the NHL. You know, I'm an offensive guy that likes to generate and create chances and take big pride in the defensive side of things as well. You know, I've got nothing but great things to say about Warrior, and a huge fan of the consistency year after year for me personally, bring out the best product, and it's so simple and easy to work with Warrior. And on top of that, the service is incredible. Always things to learn, always things to grow, always the parts of the game to get better at, but all in all, you have to be a Warrior.
There's a whole lot of wonder in the little word, why. It's uncovering how things work, what things are. Why is endless. Why is ageless, and it's for everyone to explore. At the St. Louis Science Center, the wonder of why is why we exist. We create it inside our building and in our community. Why is where wonder begins, and the St. Louis Science Center brings it to life. Come visit.
Unforgettable moments can happen anytime, anywhere. When we sit down and have a meal, the simplest joys turn into magic. All it takes is good company, great food, and a nice cold Coca-Cola. That's a recipe for magic.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Maryville Saints Hockey Network. It's time for your intermission report as the Niagara Purple Eagles lead the Saints 3-1. Todd, it was a good start for the Saints. They pick up the first goal of the game. Chad McElwain to the backhand, a great pass, and we thought, okay, this is going to be a great start for the Saints. Maybe we'll see a lot of what happened last night. Just not the period that you ultimately want to end up having, giving up 3 unanswered goals.
Yeah, it kind of a carryover from the women's game. Obviously, one game doesn't have much to do with the next, but just since we've seen both of them, it's interesting to see the similarities because Maryville ends up outshooting their opponent 13-11, but Niagara just took advantage of every opportunity that they had. I mean, Parkasaka made, 8 saves because 3 goals on 11 shots. But
you said there was no math involved.
Well, I try to do as little as possible, but I unfortunately had to on that instance. But he made the saves that he was supposed to, but I don't know. The ones that snuck through weren't necessarily his fault, but they were pucks that just kind of felt like maybe there could have been something different that happened on those instances. So it was just an awkward feeling especially once Niagara took the lead. And then Maryville you thought maybe they could find an answer because they get the power play immediately after that second goal. Nothing happens on that. And then Niagara puts in that third one. So it just was an odd period overall. And hopefully, as we mentioned before the break, Coach Hogan can either go in there, light a fire, or let the players do it themselves. But something's got to kind of shift coming out in the second period.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you are going to make adjustments, what do you think those adjustments should be if you're in that locker room for the Saints?
I think for Maryville, they need to calm down a little bit because the ideas behind their plays have been fine. It's just been the execution. As we mentioned, that the passes aren't quite necessarily there. They're coming in just a tiny bit late when they've tried to get physical. So it's more the timing necessarily. So more a focus on execution as opposed to the ideas behind anything. So I don't think there needs to be any huge change, but there's got to be just a little bit of a tweak. Everything's got to be just a little bit cleaner because right now all the mistakes have basically ended up in the back of the net.
And absolutely. And we know that Maryville, they're not shy about being physical, and sometimes that leads to penalties. But one of the things that you can't do down two is take too many penalties, because Niagara has capitalized for the most part on almost, I won't say every single power play, but like you mentioned in the broadcast, every other power play opportunity.
Right. So, I mean, if that holds, then the next penalty kill will be fine. But as you mentioned, you don't want to go into the box too many times because this team is too offensively talented, too talented up and down the roster. As we saw in last night's contest, Maryville had to come back twice. Now they've got to come back from a 2-goal deficit. We'll see what kind of metal is in the bones of Maryville. So they're going to have to try to find themselves here in the second period, the first time that they've trailed on home ice in a little while.
Well, if it was adamantium, I think they'd be doing pretty well.
Right, yeah. They need to do some dance moves like Deadpool in the opening of that movie.
Absolutely. And for those that don't know, adamantium is the metal that Wolverine has that makes his claws look super cool and super sharp. So we'll see if the Saints look sharp here in the second period. We'll see what kind of adjustments they make. They got 40 minutes left to play in this one, and we'll be back with the second period. So don't go anywhere. You're watching Saints Hockey right here on the Maryville Saints Hockey Network.
St. Louis has a great history of sports.
We love our baseball.
Baseball is nuts. It's crazy here.
When we go back to St. Louis, we got to see the Cardinals play or the Blues.
St. Louis has such a rich history of soccer. This city is ready for an MLS team. It's really such a sports city, and you have to see the environment.
That's what makes St. Louis such a special place.
Where it's going to get harder and more difficult, but to never lose that focus of enjoying the game is so important. Leon Draisaitl from Cologne, Germany, Edmonton Oilers. For me, it started early. My dad played, so it ran in the family a little bit, and always wanted to play in the NHL. I'm an offensive guy that likes to generate and create chances and take big pride in the defensive side of things as well. I've got nothing but great things to say about Warrior, and a huge fan of the consistency year after year. For me personally, bring out the best product, and it's so simple and easy to work with Warrior. And on top of that, the service is incredible. Always things to learn, always things to grow, always the parts of the game to get better at, but all in all, you have to be a warrior.
Unforgettable moments can happen anytime, anywhere. When we sit down and have a meal, the simplest joys turn into magic. All it takes is good company, great food, and a nice cold Coca-Cola. That's a recipe for magic.
To get more out of your engine, demand more from what you put into it. Go the distance with Schaefer Racing. Supreme 7000 Synthetic Plus Racing Oil. Penetro 90. Molly Ultra Grease. Schaefer, the choice of home track heroes.
What you want, Lou Fuse has got it.
For the past 70 years, Lou Fuse has called St. Louis home, growing our dealership and community family, delivering the best experience.
LOUFUSZ, where we'll treat you right, you'll see. RESPECT, get the respect that you'll need.
With 17 brands, 12 dealerships, thousands of new, certified pre-owned, used, and motorsport vehicles, and millions of happy customers, Lou Fuse is here for you. Year after year, Lou Fuse has been proud to support youth athletics, honored to give back to community charities, and happy to deliver the respect and customer service you deserve.
LOUFUSZ, treat you right for 70. LOUFUSZ, it's our anniversary.
Come celebrate our 70th anniversary with us, with anniversary savings and specials all year long. And everyone gets the Fuse Family Promise, including warranties on new and Fuse certified vehicles, a money-back guarantee, and exchange policy.
LOUFUSZ, where we'll treat you right, you'll see.
Hello everyone, I hope you've had a great summer. As the school year gets started across the country, we're excited to also welcome you back to another great season of hockey. Thanks for being a part of the USA Hockey family. I want you to know that our volunteers and our staff work every single day as hard as they can to make sure hockey is the best sports experience in every community in our country. Within USA Hockey, you're part of an organization that's a world leader in development, safety, fun, and success, and one that is committed to fostering a welcoming environment for all by building a diverse, equitable, and inclusive game. Hockey is played in thousands of communities across our entire country. Please join me in keeping the momentum going by inviting at least one new person to get involved with hockey this year. It doesn't matter if it's someone who wants to play, coach, officiate, volunteer, or just be a fan. We're excited about sharing the joy our sport brings with as many people as possible. I would also like to offer a friendly reminder to make sure that respect is top of mind every time you enter the rink or take to the ice for a game or practice this season. That includes making sure that we never use hateful or discriminatory language, as it has absolutely no place in our game or in our society. It's on all of us to make sure that we respect the game, including playing within the rules, treating officials with respect, giving our best, and being a good teammate. In the end, hockey is about fun, so let's make sure we never lose sight of that. Here's to a great season ahead, one filled with friendship, respect, success, and most of all, plenty of smiles.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Maryville Saints Hockey Network. It's a 3-1 game in favor of the Niagara Purple Eagles. The Saints trailed last night 1-0. They responded. Then they trailed 2-1. They responded. They pulled out a 4-2 win. We'll see if they can make a comeback tonight, down 2. The hardest lead to keep in the game of hockey. We'll see if the Saints can come back in this one as the second period is underway.
Got to get that next one.
You have to get the next one. Dumped in. Flipped out of the zone. Bouncing puck inside the neutral zone. Wagner with it for the Saints. Ursulak, D-to-D. Corpse. Off the stick of Zloty. Just inside the zone. It comes out. Puck is loose. Niagara takes possession of it. Off the wall. Vasco to the near side, just behind Kalen. Flipped into the zone by Corpse. He'll race after the puck, the big defenseman. Rimmed around to the near side. Flores, his shot is blocked. Puck stays inside the zone. Flores gets it back. Shot off the stick, behind the net now. Flores, a nifty move, trying to knock it out of midair, was Josh Olsen. Puck comes out of the zone. Saints with it. Off the stick of Flores. Out of the net is McEwen. He'll throw one off the glass. Sealing the wall is McLeod. Pass out front. It's intercepted and sent into the Maryville bench. And we'll get a whistle. 18:40 remaining here in period number 2. Similar to the first period, I like the energy right out of the gate.
But again, it's going to boil down to execution, especially now that you're down by 2. There's really no room for error for the Saints.
Face-off coming to the glove side of McEwen. Saints win the face-off. Gallagher at the blue line. Throws one wide of the cage. Walker takes a hit. He's fighting for the puck, kicking at it. It squirts loose. Now to the near side. Flores trying to throw that down low. Second attempt works just fine for him as he'll go off for a line change. McEwen throws it off the glass, down the length of the ice. The linesman says no icing. Poirier back for it. To the backhand. Into the skates of Taillefer as that puck comes out of the zone. Chance for the Saints. Here they come. 2-on-1. That sauce pass is knocked away and broken up. Puck below the goal line. Henderson overskates the puck. Behind the net. Puck tied up. Saints going the other way. Henderson stops just inside the blue line. Waits, fires one on, and that one hits off the glove and goes wide. Saints gain control of the puck. Henderson once again funnels one towards the front. Hits off a stick. Sam Edwards spins away, loses his footing. Henderson will go off for a line change. Corp steps up, lays a hit. It's a 3-on-2 now for Niagara. Here they come. Wrist shot on is blocked by Adams. He's slow to get up. Purple Eagles still with it. Down low, near side. Up top. Studebaker's shot hit off a stick. Saints with it. McElwain skates up ice. McElwain tries to get the shot off. Couldn't. Flipped out of the zone. Corpse will gather it at the big red M and send it back in. Stepping on to the ice is Brett Ursulak. That puck caught up in the referee's skate at the blue line. Flipped up in the air, glove down. Vasco with it, crosses the red line, gains entry into the zone, flips it in. Ursulak behind the net. Looks up on his forehand, finds Rutkai. Rutkai off the glass. Vermeer can't handle it. Off a stick, bouncing puck to the far side. Off the wall. Saints with possession of the puck. Ursulak at the dot. Stretch pass. Off the stick of Chartier. Chartier gives chase. Kalen feeds it back for the defenseman in Connor Loft. Now the Saints with it. Just past the stick of Zloty. McEwen in the crease. Flings it off the glass. Off the stick of Ursulak at his own blue line. He'll go D-to-D with Poirier. Poirier back to Ursulak. To the near side for Chartier. He'll guide it in as Zloty goes in on the forecheck. Gives his man a whack. That was McCormick. Saints with it at the blue line. Down low, no one there for the Saints as Connor Loft finds McCormick at the blue line, hits the red. McCormick on his backhand, able to get it in. Bouncing puck behind the net. Flores lifts the stick at the hash marks, off the boards. Bouncing puck at the blue line, trying to gather it is Max Wagner. Kept in. Chartier evades the hit, fires one on. That one into the skates, not enough mustard on it. Wagner with possession for the Saints. Backdoor pass, Flores, his shot, and that one may have hit the post. I thought it hit the post. It sounded like it hit the post. Saints still with it. Near side hash marks. Wagner back to the far side. Gallagher, wrist one on. That one is loose. And Niagara comes out with it. Kalen skates up ice, hits the blue line. Drag, shoots, blocked shot. Wagner off the wall, bouncing puck at the blue line, fired on, it's blocked out front. Niagara still with possession. Thrown around to the far side at the half wall, back down low in the corner, back up to the half wall as the Purple Eagles start to reverse it and get their offense going. Puck behind the net. Comes up top to the blue line. Saints able to get it out. Could be an icing. No icing. McEwen throws it up. And a chance for Bellinger. He's in. Forehand shot. He scores. 4-1. Niagara leads with 13:49 left to go here in the second period. What a heads-up play by the netminder. Brady McEwen finds Charlie Bellinger. And the Purple Eagles have a 3-goal lead.
Yeah, that's about as disastrous as you can get for Maryville. Through no fault of their own, it's just bad timing. They're trying to go for a change. It's always difficult in the second period. Goaltender realized it. Heads up play by McEwen. And he was able to spring the breakout attempt, and Bellinger was able to slide that 5-hole. You could see the frustration on the face of Parker Saka. It just hasn't been his night. He knows that he could potentially make that save. Anytime it goes through the legs of a goaltender, that's one of the worst feelings. But ultimately, that was a well-placed shot overall. And, I mean, it's one-on-one. It's a 50-50 chance at best.
Tough sledding so far here for the Saints. Down 3. Puck dumped in. Turned over. Shot on pad, save made. Purple Eagles dialing up their offense as that shot is blocked. Puck in the corner. Saints able to get it out. Here's Walker. Walker wrist shot on is stopped with the pad. Throwing it down low is Colt Corpse. Far side. Up the wall, trying to keep that one in. Lifting sticks is Jack Henderson. He's going the opposite direction. Here's Jack Henderson. He's into the forehand. Oh, he can't get the shot off. Edwards now drags. At the hash marks, now in the corner at the goal line. Shoots one on. Stop made by McEwen. Saints showing life. And having his mask come off is McEwen. I didn't see how that happened.
Henderson collided with him. Unintentional, but I'm pretty sure they're going to get Henderson for goalie interference.
Bad timing for the Saints. They were showing some life in the offensive zone, down 3. And now Jack Henderson will head to the sin bin with 12:30 left to go here in period number 2. And now Niagara has a chance on the power play to really give themselves a cushion here on the road. They're up 3. We did mention they're scoring every other power play, so hopefully they don't capitalize on this one.
Yeah, if the trend continues, then Maryville will be safe. But I don't know. We've kind of tried to come up with everything that Maryville has to do, and thus far it hasn't necessarily happened. But you still have to do your job and say that they just have to find a way to kill this off. I mean, you're down by 3. If they get a 5th one, I mean, the nail's never in the coffin with this much time left, but Maryville's got to find something positive to kind of hang their hat on and kind of flip the script.
The nail's never in the coffin. Perhaps the Saints can do their best Undertaker impression and come out of nowhere. They're down by 3. 40 seconds have gone off the clock on the Henderson minor. They're tying the puck up behind the net, doing a great job at killing the clock. At the point, Loft with it. Shot on, and we'll get a stop. 11:30 left to go in the period. 1 minute remains on the Purple Eagle power play.
I think that's our second WWE reference in as many days. Trying to think of what we said yesterday.
Well, we were talking about CM Punk and Drew McIntyre, yeah. And now we're bringing up The Undertaker, who
it all ties in.
Made a special appearance at WrestleMania back in April. It only took a few seconds for The Undertaker to choke slam The Rock. And just like this game, it only takes a couple seconds to find the back of the net and turn this game around. But the Saints have to kill this penalty off first. 40 seconds left to go in the minor penalty to Jack Henderson as the Saints clear the zone. Dumped in on target, and we'll get a whistle as that one hit right off the stick. Went right into the glove of Parker Saka. 10:59 left here in the second period. Hopefully the trend continues. And then it stops after this power play opportunity for Niagara.
Yeah, the trends have already kind of gone out the window a little bit because thus far the games have gone back and forth to make it 2-2. Instead, Niagara chucked that out the window and just said, well, we're going to claim the next 3 goals.
So the Niagara Purple Eagles set up on the power play. A shot from McCormick goes wide. Less than 20 seconds to go on their power play. Fed down low, pass out front, and that one is knocked away. Henderson eager to come out of the box. He has less than 10 seconds till he's out of the sin bin as McCormick will gather on the near side hash marks. Vasco has his stick lifted. Good play by Jackson Zloty. That one hit off a body and went on net. McEwen able to drop to the butterfly and guide that puck into a safe spot. Puck inside the neutral zone. Gobbling it up is McCormick for Niagara. He enters into Maryville's zone. Ursulak took out his man. Could have been an interference call. It was not. A.J. Vasco was the one who ended up falling down. Puck at the point. Coulter looking back door. Pass out front, and that one is shot on the backhand, but Parker Saka makes the stop. Good job challenging that shot.
Yeah, quality save, pushing himself out towards the top of the crease, keeping himself steady because that puck was still loose even though he made the initial stick save, and then he was able to kind of keep it up against the pad. And that's the kind of save that he needs to really kind of get himself going a little bit. The defense, I don't know, it just hasn't been bad, but they haven't done him any favors either.
Puck is loose, off the face-off. Saints come out with it. Punch forward by Edwards. Henderson racing after that puck, trying to lift the stick. McLean at the hash marks near side, kicks at it. Puck below the goal line, behind the net for McLean. Down low, shot. Oh, not enough mustard on that one as Henderson had a chance out front. Dumped in. Back forward is Ursulak to the backhand, off the end wall. Rutkai waits for it. Rutkai back to the near side for Henderson at the half wall. He'll flip it out of the zone. Could be an icing. No icing, says the lineman, and then he said it is an icing. That's got to be back at center ice. That linesman waved it off and then put his arm up. Not sure if I agree with that one. 9:07 left here in period number 2. We need a little accountability here at the Maryville University Hockey Center.
You get on those Zebras. They deserve all of it.
Saints able to clear the zone. Far side of the ice at the red line. Looked like both players overskated that puck. Loft finds De Matteo. Sent in. Ursulak back for it. Puts it up in the air, bounces over the stick of Rutkai. Rutkai tries to exit the zone. He does. Not before he took a big hit, though. Puck just inside the Purple Eagle zone. Off the skate of Vasco. He'll play it back in his own zone. Top of the circle. Leaves it for Loft. That pass too far out front. It's an icing. And the whistle is blown with 8:29 remaining in the second period. Still a 4-1 game. Niagara with the lead. Brady McEwen stops all of the shots in this period. He stopped 18 of 19 tonight.
And the Saints need to get something. I don't know if it's another big hit. Good shift, strung together, quality shots on goal. Right now, that seems like they're just kind of chasing the game a little bit. Literally and figuratively.
We'll have another face-off in the Niagara zone as that puck went out of play. Vermeers to take the draw for the Saints. Vasco for the Purple Eagles. De Matteo flings it to the far side. At the hash marks, Vermeers with it. Fluttering pass or shot, whatever that was. Saints still with it, though, in the corner. McElwain up top to the point. Adams to McElwain to the backhand, back down low. Arm is up. The Saints will head to the power play. As touching the puck is Connor Loft. With 8:02, the Saints will have the man advantage. We'll see if they can cut the Niagara lead in half and make it a 4-2 game. They really need it right now.
Yeah, Maryville 0 for 2 on the power play. Perhaps a little bit fortunate there because I think the ref kind of saw, I think it was a penalty, but I think he also saw it out of the corner of his eye. So it was a 50-50 proposition as to whether he was going to call it. And Turcotte was already on the ice by the time the arm went up. And the officials saw enough of it to give Maryville the man advantage, and now they have to take advantage. You can say there's a lot of time left up on the clock, but I mean, eventually, if they're going to keep going into the box, you got to be able to put one in the back of the net.
Well, Niagara will take possession of it as that puck off the faceoff was caught up in the skates of the official. As there's a shot from a weird angle, it hits off the shoulder of Saka and goes out of play. As 11 seconds have gone by on the Maryville power play, 7:51 remaining here in period number 2. As Connor Loft sits in the penalty box.
And that's kind of an awkward situation for Maryville. I mean, I understand you don't want to take a penalty and even things up, but I mean, how does he even get a shot from that situation? It seems like you just got to win that battle, chase down the puck.
Dumped in, cross corner. Saints need one here on the power play. They look to set things up. Ursulak with it. And taken out of the play is Wagner. No call. Shot down low. That's in the back of the net. No! The official says no. What a save by Brady McEwen. A little redirect. Lucas Adams placed his stick on the ice. It hit off the stick. We thought it went right between the wickets of Brady McEwen, but the puck stays out of the net. 1:22 remaining on the power play. 7:24 left to go here in the second frame.
I mean, I would kill to have an overhead camera right now because I don't know how that doesn't go in. I thought for sure that the goaltender kicked it in himself off the pad. And the only thing that I can guess is the left leg came across and was able to keep it out somehow. But I thought for sure that had to have gone in, but the referee was in good position. So he would have had a better look at the goal line than we would have. But I don't know. If that one doesn't go in, that might just be how the night's going to go.
McElwain to take the face-off for the Saints. Adams with it in the corner. Near side hash marks for Zloty. Now to the point. Ursulak looks up. Looking backdoor for McElwain. That shot goes off the stick and wide. Zloty trying to protect the puck. Finds Ursulak at the point. Ursulak looks up, fires one on. Stop made by McEwen. Ursulak gets it back. At the hash marks, now to Zloty, waiting for it at the blue line. Zloty to the far side. Wagner had that one go over his stick. Taking a hit and kicking at the puck is McElwain. Not sure if I love that pass from Lucas Adams, who is tangled up with Shabbat.
Yeah, the pass to get it down low was great, but trying to go one time back to the slot when you've got the defenders facing you, you have them turned around. You got to get a shot off there and try to look for a rebound.
Well, last night we were comparing this hockey game, not this particular hockey game, but last night's hockey game to Game 1 of the World Series, in which the Dodgers ended up winning thanks to a Freddie Freeman walk-off grand slam. At the time, the Saints were winning 3-2. The same time the Yankees were winning 3-2. It seemed like the games were in sync. And that seems to be the case tonight as well, as the Dodgers lead in the top of the 7th inning, 4-1. Niagara leads Maryville 4-1.
I guess we better start cheering for the Yankees then.
I don't know if anybody's cheering for either of these teams, unless you live in Los Angeles and or New York.
I'm just going with the how it seems to tie into the score.
Saints with it. Henderson shoots one on. Pad save made. The power play is dwindling down as we are back to 5-on-5. Henderson spins away. Looks up to the point. Corpse, his shot, glances off a body and goes just wide of the cage. Henderson gets it back to Corpse. Corpse, his shot's blocked. Slapped away. Corpse tries to keep it in. He can't. Poirier off the wall. Henderson enters into the zone. Pokes at it. Gets it in. Puck in the corner. Now behind the net to the far side. Reverse to the near side. Waiting for the puck is Jeremy Manning. He skates up ice. Has that pass hit off a stick. Now the Saints take possession. Poirier to Corpse. Corpse off the wall. Campbell McLean looks up, shoots one on. Pad save made by McEwen. Poirier steps into one. That shot's blocked. Slap shot on, hits off another body and goes wide. Lots of blocked shots here in this second period. Gallagher looks up, wrist shot is right into the glove of McEwen, and we'll get a stoppage with 5 minutes left to go in the second period. The Saints once again do not capitalize on the power play. It still remains 4-1.
Well, and unfortunately for Maryville, that last block shot was actually their own teammate, McLean. Right now he's trying to kind of shake it off. He's standing over on the bench. I think he'll be fine for his next shift, but wasn't able to put a ton of weight on his left leg after making that unexpected block.
Looks like we'll get a timeout here with 5 minutes left to play here in the second period.
Interesting that it's Niagara taking the timeout. You're up by 3. It didn't seem like they were being hemmed in a whole lot, but you can't take them with you, as you say, so might as well get something drawn up, give your current line out there a breather.
Definitely a different game than what we saw last night. We've seen the Saints come back and win games before. It'll be a tough task tonight with 25 minutes of play left to go in this game. They had a remarkable comeback early in the season against Missouri State.
Yeah, the talent is there, so it's never really out of reach, but it's the way the game has gone, the way the vibe is in the building. Maryville, they have to get something going. It's not going to just kind of come out of nowhere. They're either going to have to get a lucky bounce maybe or connect on a rebound somewhere. Maybe get another big hit from a third or fourth liner. They got to get something jolted here because it's just they're kind of floating around a little bit. There's decent energy, but not too much coming from it.
That shot hit off his stick, went wide of the cage. Niagara going the other way with it. Taylor flings it in. Bouncing puck, side of the cage. It's whacked at right in the crease. Uh-oh. Oh, no. If the referee saw what I saw, it could be a penalty shot. It looked like Gallagher may have put his glove on the puck while it was in the crease. You can't do that. We'll see what the referees dial up here with 4:42 left to go in the second period. Hopefully they're not calling a penalty shot for Niagara.
Well, I mean, what stinks about that is Saka struggled to find the vision of the puck, but he had found it. He was about ready to put the glove down, but I saw what you saw. That it looked like the Maryville player. I don't know. Like that's going to be an interesting decision because he didn't quote unquote cover it, but the glove was right there. I could see them easily being justified giving a penalty shot, but I think it looks like Maryville's going to be bailed out.
Judging by what we're seeing on the ice right now, it looks like it'll be an offensive zone face-off for the Purple Eagles instead of a penalty shot opportunity, which we're okay with up here. We know we probably have some Niagara fans watching, so I'm sure they're itching for a penalty shot, and, penalty shots are always exciting. Has a little bit more, just a bit more dramatic feel to it, I think, than a shootout, maybe. Would you say, just because it's still in regulation?
Right, yeah, and
that's just my opinion on it.
Yeah, it's maybe there's a little more intrigue to it just because there's not quite so much tension. So the players, both the goaltender and the shooter, a little bit more freewheeling than sometimes you see in an actual shootout.
That one hits the ceiling as we'll get another whistle. 4:33 left to go here in period number 2. And we talked about it in the first period, whether or not Coach Hogan would talk to his players in the intermission. I would say if he did not talk to them during the intermission, I would have to think that he might heading into the third period based on what we've seen in the second frame.
Yeah, and that was kind of my guess. And again, we don't officially know what happened in the first intermission, but yeah, if things didn't improve, you basically kind of have to go in there and just be like, hey, somebody needs to wake up. Somebody's got to find a good play, and we don't see it here, transition play.
Yeah, this ain't good. Sauce pass, and that one goes just wide. Saka will put a glove on it as he found that puck on the far side post. That could have been bad for Maryville. We talked about putting the nail in the coffin, and you mentioned the nail isn't fully in the coffin, especially in the second period, but if that would have went in, things would not have been good for the Saints in the remainder of this game.
Yeah, and it's just an odd night, really, because you don't feel like Maryville's playing terribly, but they're allowing to just basically everything that has gone wrong has gone the other way, and Niagara's getting quality opportunities off of it. And just miscues here and there, just passes aren't on, gripping the stick a little too long, not taking a shot when you should, passing up shooting opportunities. I don't know, just every once in a while you get those games where you can just kind of tell it's not your night, and so far it's been that for Maryville.
Well, that's why you play a full 60. The Saints will have another 20 minutes of play in the third period, but they got to bear down here in the final 4 of this second. 4-1 the score in favor of the Niagara Purple Eagles. Far side for Chartier. That one hit off a player on the bench, and we'll get a whistle. Less than 4 to go here in period number 2. 3:53 to be exact.
But on the flip side of that, you don't want to take away credit from Niagara. We're focusing mainly on the things that have gone wrong for Maryville because it's the Maryville Saints Hockey Network. But
really,
the Purple Eagles have basically kind of done what they needed to do. I mean, they found an answer relatively quickly, getting a power play goal to tie things up, and then they've taken advantage of their opportunities, whereas the Saints have not.
Rimmed around to the near side. It's kept in by Coulter. Pass out front on the backhand. Pad save made by Saka. No one can find it except for Charlie Bellinger, I believe. That is a hat trick for the young man. 3:36 left here in period number 2, and Niagara has a 5-1 lead. Not the greatest of nights for Parker Saka and the Maryville Saints.
So he didn't get them as the first goal straight through, but would you consider that still a natural hat trick since it was 3 consecutive goals?
I believe so. I mean, if you're getting a hat trick either way,
right.
it's
right,
it's
yeah.
pretty impressive.
2 in 1 period, too.
Dumped in. Loft back for the Purple Eagles. Now the Saints with it. Dump down low to the near side. Poirier steps up. Puck in the corner. Saints getting outworked here in the second period. Far side half wall. Puck stays inside the zone thanks to Poirier. To the backhand, flutters it down low. Sam Edwards behind the net. He's pinned up against the boards. Helping him out is Henderson. Finds Poirier at the hash mark. Shot on off the stick. Stop made by McEwen. Edwards fighting for that puck. He kicks at it. Flipped out of the zone. Poirier gloves it down. Poirier takes a hit. Takes another hit. And now Niagara has possession of the puck. Stretch pass off the stick of Manning. He'll go off for a line change. Gallagher with it. Off the stick of Flores. In on the forecheck is Turcotte. McEwen, we know he's pretty good with the stick. Throws it up the boards. Purple Eagles able to get it out of the zone. Lucas Adams will pick it up for the Saints. Rink wide pass for Flores. Driving the net is Turcotte. Over to Turcotte. That one too hot to handle. Just like the TV show. At the Big Red M. Now at the blue line of Niagara. Both teams working for the puck. It's just inside the blue line. Purple Eagles come out with it. Loft trying to get it out. He can't. Flores trying to knock that puck down and keep it inside the zone. Saints with it. Turcotte tries to drag. He gets tripped up. Saints will head to the power play. Adams at the blue line. Looks up. Adams walks the line. Still with it. To the far side. Goalie's pulled. Sixth man on the ice. Delayed penalty. Looking back door, and that one is touched as there are two Niagara players down on the ice. Slow to get up is A.J. Vasco. He is now up, and we'll try and figure out who that is. I believe that's Connor Loft, who is the other Niagara Purple Eagle down on the ice. 5-1 is the score with 1:24 left to go here in the second period. The Saints will head to the power play. 25 shots to 20 in favor of the Saints, but they trail by 4.
And that's one of those weird plays for the offensive team because the referee's giving you every opportunity. They didn't blow it dead. The player is down literally right in front of you. I think Adams would have liked to have taken a shot from the straightaway point area, but the player that was injured was in his shooting lane, so you can't do that. I guess maybe you could say, oh, if you think the player's that hurt, you could do the sportsmanlike thing and just give up the puck, but then you may be giving up a scoring opportunity. So it's a weird situation, just kind of a weird night overall, but the Saints already down by 3. Even if you don't score, I mean, the power play has been so disjointed and inconsistent this year. You'd like to get at least a couple good shifts and some quality scoring looks.
Well, if the Saints can capitalize on the power play, you would like to have it happen right here heading into the intermission. They trail by 4. Max Wagner will take the faceoff for the Saints. Saints really need one right here. They win the faceoff. Wagner, top of the circle. To McElwain. Back up top for Brett Ursulak, and his shot is blocked. Puck is cleared. Ursulak with it now for Maryville. Skates up ice. 1 minute left to go here in the second period. Zloty takes a big hit. His pass for Adams was too far out front. But Zloty gets back up and now has the puck. Slap shot on. Hits off a stick. Goes wide of the net. In the corner. Unable to keep it in is Ursulak. It went right under his stick. 40 seconds left to go here in the period. Zloty picks up the puck for Maryville. To the near side. Ursulak gains entry into the zone. To the backhand. Wagner with it. Finds Ursulak at the hash marks. Near side. Looks up. Back to the far side for Zloty. Zloty now into the skates of McElwain. McElwain with possession to Zloty. 15 seconds left to go in the period. McElwain loses his handle of the puck. At the hash marks, fighting for it. Saints still with it. Adams near side. Zloty needs to get it on net. Ursulak to Wagner. Wagner with 3 seconds left. Shoot the puck. Shoots one on. It's blocked. And that will do it for period number 2. 5-1. Niagara leads here after 40 minutes of play. And Lucas Adams is going to start the penalty, or start the period off with a penalty, as he will head to the sin bin. He tripped up Brady McEwen after the horn had sounded, as McEwen was skating back to his teammates. You're down 4 goals. That just cannot happen.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen this before. Maryville just kind of letting their heads slip away from them, basically. I mean, that's just not smart hockey. I mean, I'm sure the goaltender maybe had words for Adams or whatever, but you can't respond. You cannot do something like that. There's no way that you don't get called for a penalty in that instance.
So we'll see how everything shakes up heading into the third period. What we do know is that Maryville trails by 4 goals after 40 minutes of play. We'll break this second period down in our intermission report, so don't go anywhere. You're watching Maryville Saints hockey right here on the Maryville Saints Hockey Network.
College hockey. It's more than just what school you play for. More than just another sweater you pull on. It's about focus, determination, strategy, and poise. It's more than just packed rinks and screaming fans. It's about heart, skill, and passion. In nearly 30 years of the ACHA, we don't just play the game of hockey. We are the game of hockey. Hundreds of elite players and coaches from some of the United States and Canada's most prestigious programs. The American Collegiate Hockey Association. More than just a game.
This is the letter I've been telling you about. This letter is for you. From what I hear, you're supposed to be the next Tom Brady. What I'm about to say is important. Never let them call you the next Tom Brady. When they compare you to the GOATs, tune it out. When they say you're a 6th round draft pick, store it away. Compare yourself to nobody but the kid in the mirror. The one who goes all in, all out, and has the crazy confidence to know that who you are today is just a piece of who you're going to become. This letter's for that you, the one no one will see coming. Sincerely, Tom.
About your dreams, man.
What you want, Lou Fuse has got it.
For the past 70 years, Lou Fuse has called St. Louis home, growing our dealership and community family, delivering the best experience.
L-O-U-F-U-S-Z, where we'll treat you right, you'll see. R-E-S-P-E-C-T, get the respect that you need.
With 17 brands, 12 dealerships, thousands of new, certified pre-owned, used, and motorsport vehicles, and millions of happy customers, Lou Fuse is here for you. Year after year, Lou Fuse has been proud to support youth athletics, honored to give back to community charities, and happy to deliver the respect and customer service you deserve.
L-O-U-F-U-S-Z, treat you right for 70. L-O-U-F-U-S-Z, it's our anniversary.
Come celebrate our 70th anniversary with us, with anniversary savings and specials all year long. And everyone gets the Fuse Family Promise, including warranties on new and Fuse certified vehicles, a money-back guarantee, and exchange policy.
L-O-U-F-U-S-Z, where we treat you right, you'll see.
Hello, everyone. I hope you've had a great summer. As the school year gets started across the country, we're excited to also welcome you back to another great season of hockey. Thanks for being a part of the USA Hockey family. I want you to know that our volunteers and our staff work every single day as hard as they can to make sure hockey is the best sports experience in every community in our country. Within USA Hockey, you're part of an organization that's a world leader in development, safety, fun, and success, and one that is committed to fostering a welcoming environment for all by building a diverse, equitable, and inclusive game. Hockey is played in thousands of communities across our entire country. Please join me in keeping the momentum going by inviting at least one new person to get involved with hockey this year. It doesn't matter if it's someone who wants to play, coach, officiate, volunteer, or just be a fan. We're excited about sharing the joy our sport brings with as many people as possible. I would also like to offer a friendly reminder to make sure that respect is top of mind every time you enter the rink or take to the ice for a game or practice this season. That includes making sure that we never use hateful or discriminatory language, as it has absolutely no place in our game or in our society. It's on all of us to make sure that we respect the game, including playing within the rules, treating officials with respect, giving our best, and being a good teammate. In the end, hockey is about fun, so let's make sure we never lose sight of that. Here's to a great season ahead, one filled with friendship, respect, success, and most of all, plenty of smiles.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Maryville Saints Hockey Network alongside Todd Panula. I'm Andrew Marsh. We have ourselves a 5-1 game in favor of the Niagara Purple Eagles. Todd, not the Saints' night tonight. We thought maybe that they could find their game in the second period, and instead the Niagara Purple Eagles put two more on the board. It's now a 5-1 game, just not the Saints' night.
Yeah, everything's really kind of been going against them, and you give credit for the Purple Eagles for taking advantage of all those opportunities that they've been given, because they haven't had a ton of shots on goal. The shot differential has been pretty similar throughout, and even though Maryville's trailed the whole time, oddly enough, they have more shots. But I just don't feel like they've really troubled McEwen as much as they did last night. They've had a few quality opportunities here or there. They've had a couple scramble plays here or there, but they just haven't been able to find those final pucks to put it in the back of the net. Whereas on the flip side, it's like everything that could go wrong has gone wrong for Maryville. We've seen breakout attempts, a great heads-up play by McEwen as he sprang that blue line to blue line pass,
Yeah,
and
that was real pretty.
Yeah, tucked it home, and I don't know. You just have to give credit for the Purple Eagles, but as you said, Maryville just hasn't been on their game here tonight.
Yeah, Niagara has definitely been the better team tonight, and the scoreboard shows that. I was going to ask you heading into intermission if frustration is starting to set in for Maryville. I thought that we saw that play out at the end of the second period where Lucas Adams ends up tripping up McEwen. After the horn had sounded, he was skating back to his teammates and gathering with his teammates before they all head off on the ice. Instead, he's tripped up well after the horn had sounded, and then there was a little scuffle or whatever with the referee and the Maryville Saint players. Just a lot of frustration in the building if you're a Saint. How do you get rid of that with only 20 minutes left to play down 4? Or do you just say, we'll move on to the next game. Let's try and just at least clean our game up and then head in to the next series?
I think if nothing else, that has to be the focus, clean the game up, because you definitely cannot allow that to continue.
Right.
I don't know if Coach Hogan has to say something or or maybe the leadership group has to say something, because that just cannot happen. I don't care how it transpired. I really don't.
Yeah.
I don't care if McEwen embellished it. I don't care if they drew him into a penalty or whatever. If something was said, maybe I don't care if he insulted his family. Like, you just cannot.
You don't want to do that.
You just can't do that. Everybody's going to be watching something like that. All of a sudden, the goalie hits the ice. There's no choice but to put somebody in the box off of that. So it's just a silly play. As you mentioned, Maryville was going to have a little bit of a power play to start the third period. You get fresh ice. If you get a face-off win, maybe you get something going in the offensive end. Instead, I mean, who knows how the manpower is going to shake out after that.
Yeah, we don't know. They didn't put anything on the board. They didn't make a call before the period ended. So we have no idea. There might not even be a penalty. I have no idea. I would assume there would be.
I have to assume that they're going to give something out, because it was the linesman that spotted it. He was the one that blew the whistle, came over. But I figure Adams has got to be in the box one way or the other. I would be intensely surprised if not. But who knows how it shook out after that. But focusing on the third period overall, win the third period. Who cares what the final score is? This one is heading towards a loss unless something miraculous happens, and we've seen that kind of stuff.
Absolutely.
But you got to focus on at least winning the third period. I mean, get the next goal, whatever you have to do. I mean, if you end up 2-1 in the third period, so be it. Win the third period, get a little bit of momentum heading into next week's road contest, and see where you go from there. Because this one has just been, it's been an odd effort. There's been energy here and there. They haven't played all that poorly, but it's been just bad enough to allow a good team like Niagara to get the scoreline to what it is.
Well, we'll see how things play out in the third period. The Saints trail by 4. It's a 5-1 game in favor of the Niagara Purple Eagles. We'll have the third period for you coming up next, so don't go anywhere. You're watching Maryville Saint Hockey right here on the Maryville Saints Hockey Network.
College hockey. It's more than just what school you play for. More than just another sweater you pull on. It's about focus, determination, strategy, and poise. It's more than just packed rinks and screaming fans. It's about heart, skill, and passion. In nearly 30 years of the ACHA, we don't just play the game of hockey. We are the game of hockey. Hundreds of elite players and coaches from some of the United States and Canada's most prestigious programs. The American Collegiate Hockey Association. More than just a game.
This is the letter I've been telling you about.
This letter is for you. From what I hear, you're supposed to be the next Tom Brady. What I'm about to say is important. Never let them call you the next Tom Brady. When they compare you to the GOATs, tune it out. When they say you're a 6th round draft pick, store it away. Compare yourself to nobody but the kid in the mirror. The one who goes all in, all out, and has the crazy confidence to know that who you are today is just a piece of who you're going to become. This letter's for that you. the one no one will see coming. Sincerely, Tom.
About your dreams, man. What you want, Lou Fuse has got it.
For the past 70 years, Lou Fuse has called St. Louis home, growing our dealership and community family, delivering the best experience.
Loufusc, where we'll treat you right, you'll see. RESPECT, get the respect that you'll need.
With 17 brands, 12 dealerships, thousands of new, certified pre-owned, used and motorsport vehicles, and millions of happy customers, Lou Fuse is here for you. Year after year, Lou Fuse has been proud to support youth athletics, honored to give back to community charities, and happy to deliver the respect and customer service you deserve.
LOUFUSZ, treat you right for 70. LOUFUSZ, it's our anniversary.
Come celebrate our 70th anniversary with us, with anniversary savings and specials all year long. And everyone gets the Fuse Family Promise, including warranties on new and Fuse certified vehicles, a money-back guarantee, and exchange policy.
LOUFUSZ, where we treat you right, you'll see.
Hello, everyone. I hope you've had a great summer. As the school year gets started across the country, we're excited to also welcome you back to another great season of hockey. Thanks for being a part of the USA Hockey family. I want you to know that our volunteers and our staff work every single day as hard as they can to make sure hockey is the best sports experience in every community in our country. Within USA Hockey, you're part of an organization that's a world leader in development, safety, fun, and success, and one that is committed to fostering a welcoming environment for all by building a diverse, equitable, and inclusive game. Hockey is played in thousands of communities across our entire country. Please join me in keeping the momentum going by inviting at least one new person to get involved with hockey this year. It doesn't matter if it's someone who wants to play, coach, officiate, volunteer, or just be a fan. We're excited about sharing the joy our sport brings with as many people as possible. I would also like to offer a friendly reminder to make sure that respect is top of mind every time.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Maryville Saints Hockey Network. Alongside Todd Panula, I'm Andrew Marsh as we get set for period number 3 between the Niagara Purple Eagles and your Maryville Saints. So it looks like Lucas Adams will sit in the sin bin for 2 minutes. So we'll play 4-on-4 hockey for 36 seconds, and then Niagara will have themselves a power play.
I guess if you're digging for positives, which we kind of are right now, we've seen in different games this season, Maryville plays pretty well at 4-on-4. They seem to enjoy the extra open ice. So we'll see if anything positive can happen off of that.
4-on-4 as the third period is underway here in Chesterfield, Missouri. Purple Eagles with it. 3-on-2 with Max Wagner as the back checker as that puck is knocked away. Near side. McCormick with it for the Purple Eagles. He'll send it down low. Puck behind the net. Now to the far side corner at the hash marks. Fighting for the puck is Wagner. Puck knocked away, but the Saints gain possession of it. Chartier enters into the zone. Loses his handle of the puck. He'll play it back. Saints are now on the kill. Thrown down the length of the ice. One minute has gone by here in the third frame. McCormick will drop it back. Now skating up ice and flinging it in is Cody Gunnason. Saints are able to clear. Purple Eagles taking their time. Up by 4. McCormick will drop it back. Able to get it in is Taillefer, but the Saints are able to clear it after gloving that dump in and sending it down the length of the ice.
Yeah, thus far, pretty good penalty kill for Maryville. Obviously, Purple Eagles in no great hurry to put on a whole lot of pressure. They're more than content to just kind of kill this off and proving it here, just keeping it behind their own net.
They don't necessarily need the goals as they lead by 4. Off the wall, and we'll get a whistle. Maybe that hit a player on the bench. 17:52 left here in the third period.
Not that the Saints will complain, but just something that I noticed was somehow there was a second differential between the power play clock and the game clock, which doesn't make any sense because the penalties started at the same time as the period.
Purple Eagles win the face-off. Near side corner. Keeping the puck is Sochka. His shot is blocked. Jackson Zloty to Turcotte. Turcotte guides it in. McEwen rims it around to the near side at the half wall. Trying to keep that puck in was Corpse. It hit off his glove and hits the netting. We'll get a whistle. 17:28 left here in the third.
So now's the time for the Saints to just kind of focus on the rest of this period. They did their job in the first 2 minutes, killed off what actually was like a minute 24, I think, of power play time for Niagara. But try to get a goal. I mean, you got to get something coming out of this one. If you basically get shut out for 57 minutes, that's going to be hard to take anything positive out of this game heading into next weekend.
Well, maybe they can get something here on this offensive zone face-off. James Vermeersch will take it for the Saints. Niagara takes possession of it off the face-off and then gives it right back to the Saints, but the Saints can't hold it in. Rutkai gave it to his defense partner in Brett Ursulak, who gave it away, and then the Purple Eagles give it away. So now the Saints with it. Near side. Off the wall. Now Niagara takes possession of it. Bellinger, his shot right into the glove of Saka, and we'll get a whistle with 16:55 left to go here in the third period.
So next weekend, the Saints will be on the road going to Burnaby, British Columbia to take on Simon Fraser. I'd dearly like to know if they're actually taking a bus ride that far across.
Oh! I would hope not. Saints win the face-off. Adams behind the net. Pass out front. Off the boards. Puck goes out of the zone. Arm is up from the linesman, and then he puts it down. No icing. Loft reverses for McCormick. Turned over. Unable to get that shot off. It was Luke McLeod. Puck stays inside the zone. Below the dots. Behind the net. Near side. Corpse with it. His shot hits off a body. Purple Eagles take possession. Able to fling that out as Shabbat down the length of the ice. Will it be an icing? Yes. 16:21 remaining here in period number 3.
Kind of a stop-start opening to this third period. As we mentioned, Niagara more than content to just kind of kill time off the clock. They didn't really seem all that interested in trying to get anything out of their power play. But right now they're just kind of flinging pucks around, clearing it out when they can. Don't allow Maryville to get too many quality looks.
Wagner off the face-off, goes forward with it. Puck is loose. Taken out was McEwen. His stick is stuck in the net. Shot from the point. Kick save. And a beauty. Another shot is stopped by McEwen. Slap shot from the point. That one blocked. Puck stays in. Good job by Gallagher to hold that line. Another shot from the point. Well wide as it rims around to the near side. Olsen fires one on. That shot is blocked. Off the glass. Bouncing puck. This time Gallagher can't keep it in. Poirier's there. Feeds one to the far side for Wagner. He's stripped of the puck. Poirier, good defensive play right at the blue line. Olsen off the wall. Wagner with it. Wagner stops. needs some help down low. He's taken out, and he looks frustrated. Flipped out of the zone. Down the length of the ice. No icing. Saka plays it to the near side. Shot on, hits off the side of the cage. Ursulak with it. He'll wait for Henderson to swing wide. Henderson skates up ice. Now to the middle. Ursulak finds Turcotte. That pass jumps right over the stick of Henderson. Inside the neutral zone, flipped in. McElwain in on the forecheck. Puck behind the net. Out front. Loose in front of McEwen. Saints with it. Shot is blocked. Up the far wall. Comes out of the zone. McElwain with it. Stretch pass. Finds Henderson. Enters into the zone. He's tripped up. Arm is up. The Saints will head to the power play. Henderson at the half wall. That puck is touched, and we'll get a whistle. 14:32 left to go here in the third. 5-1 the score. Saints will head to the power play, and they need to capitalize on this one.
Well, the old saying goes, the fifth time is a charm, right? Isn't that what they say?
I don't know. I don't know if it's exactly the fifth time.
I'm sure somebody at some point has said it.
I'm sure they've said that after 4 other attempts not working out in their favor.
Yeah, all jokes aside, I mean, we talked about it in the intermission, winning this period. Maryville's doing the small things right thus far in the first 5.5 minutes or so. And again, even if you don't mount any kind of comeback, just getting something positive on your power play, because it not only have they gone 0 for 4, but it's been not very good either. They just struggled to get the puck into the zone and get things set up. The only time that they've looked decent was when they managed to win a face-off and get something set up off of that.
Shot from the point is blocked. Chartier behind the net. Far side of the ice for Zloty. Top of the key for Corpse. Edwards with it. Top of the circle. Far side Zloty. Zloty down low. Chartier with it. Chartier waits. Finds Corpse. Shot on. Stop made. McEwen able to make the stop on the second attempt. 13:53 remaining here in period number 3. 1:22 left to go on the Maryville power play.
And those are just the little differences in how this game has gone. McEwen did allow a rebound, but it only popped out maybe a foot away from him, and the Saints just haven't got that same kind of bounce the other way, whereas Saka has made the saves the first attempt around, but some of those pucks came off of him pretty hot, and a couple of them ended up in the back of the net.
Saints win the faceoff. Ursulak to Wagner. Top of the key, Ursulak looks up. Finds Zloty. Zloty back to Ursulak. Ursulak waits patiently at the blue line. Looks up to Zloty. Zloty to Wagner. Back to Ursulak. Ursulak at the blue line. Looks up. Under the stick of Wagner. Puck below the goal line. McElwain with it behind the net. Zloty, far side of the ice. Back down low for McElwain. His pass out front is gobbled up by McEwen. And we'll get a whistle. 13:18 left to go in the period. 47 seconds remaining on the Maryville power play.
Saints doing a pretty good job of working the puck around the umbrella, going tape to tape. Just the shooting lanes not materializing off of that. And I think that's what they just haven't been able to get going too much here tonight. You'd like to get the goaltender moving. He's been able to see too many of the shots and get himself established in terms of positioning.
Yeah, McEwen has looked sharp tonight between the pipes for the Niagara Purple Eagles. Gave up that first goal early in the first period and has been unstoppable since. Board battle behind the net. Who's going to come out with it? Niagara does. That's Connor Loft. Finds his man in Cody Gunnison. Gunnison in. His shot is off the side of the net. 15 seconds left on the power play. Wagner in the neutral zone. Finds McLean. McLean stripped to the puck. It's going to be a foot race, and that is definitely a penalty. One that probably needed to be taken. Otherwise, it would have been a foot race and a breakaway, and that is Brett Ursulak, who will head to the sin bin. So the Saints had a power play. It'll be 4-on-4 for 2 seconds, and then the Purple Eagles will take over on the man advantage as they lead by 4.
Yeah, I mean, once he made the decision that he wasn't going to be able to catch up to the player, he just pretty much tried to football tackle him. Did a pretty good job, too. And we've seen some teams here today on collegiate football that could have used a tackle like that, but it was gonna be a breakaway. I mean, Ursulak was basically towards the end of the shift.
4-on-4. And now it is 5-on-5, or 5-on-4, pardon me. We wish it was 5-on-5. Purple Eagles with a power play. To the near side. Gunnason tries to enter into the zone. He does for a brief second, but the Saints are able to clear. .12:05 left on the clock. Far side of the ice. Trying to lay a hit was Hunter Flores. Chops at the puck. Purple Eagles with it. That shot goes off the stick of Gunnason and in the back of the net. Another power play goal for Niagara as the score is now 6-1. 11:52 left to go in the third.
I mean, that's just a pretty setup right there. They connect on the backdoor play. Picture perfect finish to the shot as well as they just tuck it past the outstretched right pad of Parker Saka. And you feel bad for him because not only is his team going to lose this game, but his numbers are going to suffer. And it's been a struggle for him to open this season. But, I mean, at least 3, if not more, of the goals, just absolutely no shot for Saka.
Not a great night if you are a fan of the Maryville Saints. The women's team dropped one earlier today to the Miami of Ohio Redhawks. And now the Saints are on their way to losing this one against Niagara. Glove down, shot on, rebound, they score! The Saints have life, down 4 now. Campbell McLean puts it in the back of the net. And so the Saints respond after the Niagara Purple Eagles score on the power play. 11:33 left to go here in the third period. The Saints are down 4. The clock is now their enemy. But they have themselves, or they find themselves with the second goal of the game. It's taken a while to get that second goal, but they found it.
Well, we talked about it. The focus has to be just winning this third period. They've at least got themselves back to 1-1 in terms of the goals scored this period. Try to get the next one if you're Maryville and then see where it can go from that.
Far side hash marks, sent back around to the near side. Corpse with it. Up the boards. Off the stick. Inside Niagara zone, they go D to D. Shabbat at the red line, dumps it in. He's caught up with Corpse. Ursulak now in the corner to Walker. Up the boards, Olsen trying to weave his way through. Lifts the stick, Olsen at the hash marks for Corpse. Corpse fires one on and McEwen makes the stop. 10:49 left to go here in the third.
A little bit more jump now from Maryville. That goal is giving them just a little bit of pep in their step, and they managed to get the puck into the offensive zone, generate a pretty good chance. Again, McEwen pretty much saw it all the way, but at least they're getting pucks towards the net with purpose.
10:49 left to go here in this one. Saints trail by 4. Offensive zone face-off for Maryville. And we get a false start. We'll do it again. Jack Henderson taking the face-off for the Saints.
Is that a 10-yard penalty?
False start usually leads to a 5-yard penalty.
And that's why I don't do football as much.
Shot on, stop made by McEwen. Oh, and a huge hit on the far side of the ice. Somebody lost a glove. Puck comes out of the zone. Slap shot on. That one's wide. Olsen gives chase. Taillefer trying to get it out. Kept in by Maryville. Chartier showing pressure. Henderson in there as well. Puck on the near side, half wall. Comes out of the zone. Throwing it inside the zone is Ursulak. Puck below the dots. Henderson stops and starts. He's spinning away, trying to evade the defender. To the far side. Shot on. McEwen makes the glove save. Less than 10 minutes to go here in this one. 9:58 left on the clock. Looks like the Saints are just getting the puck and firing it on net.
Yeah, and you might as well. Hoping for rebounds. Really the only thing extra that they could do on these last couple plays is you got to try to take away the goaltender's vision. Niagara's done a pretty good job of clearing the lanes, allowing McEwen to see everything. So that's about all that Maryville needs to be doing different now, is just either get a stick or a body in front of the mask and try to shield his vision.
Icing called, 9:52 on the clock. Max Wagner will take the faceoff for Maryville. AJ Vasco for Niagara. Blocker side of Brady McEwen. Purple Eagles win it. Coulter, high and hard off the glass. No icing as that one is on target. And getting sprayed after making the stop was Parker Saka. So now we'll have a face-off in Maryville's end. Shots are 33-25 in favor of the Saints, but I'm sure they'd like to flip that if it meant they were leading this game.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Poirier off the face-off to Gallagher, far side of the ice. McElwain turns it over. Shot from the high slot is blocked. Adams with it. Or, pardon me, McElwain with it. Niagara with possession of it behind the net. D to D, far side of the ice. Coming back to the near side. Shabbat at the red line, floats it in. Bouncing puck over the stick of Corpse. Corpse, he'll play it for Poirier. To Edwards. Sam Edwards hits the red line, guides it in, takes a hit, loses his twig. Now he's kicking at the puck, and a good play by Edwards. Thrown on net into the glove of McEwen, as we'll get another whistle with 8:55 left to go here in period number 3.
Yeah, that's going to smart for Sam Edwards. He took a vicious hit along the near side wall. Clean hit, but the way the stick got kind of jammed against the wall, it dug into his hip. He'll be ready to go on the next shift, but that's definitely going to leave a bruise.
Face-off won by Maryville. Shot is blocked at the point. Puck comes out of the zone. A chance for Furlong on his forehand at the dot. Couldn't get the shot off cleanly. Good stick by Benji Rutkai. Saints able to clear. Zloty all by himself trying to dangle. Can't get around his man. Puck stays inside the zone as that one is shot on wide. Comes to the near side at the hash marks. Corpse falls down. Turcotte. That shot coming from Luke McLeod is blocked. Now at the point, slap shot on, hits off a body and goes out of play with 8:22 left to go here in the third period.
The Saints basically, as you said, Marshy, just trying to funnel everything to the front of the net. Not too much getting through, at least in terms of quality chances. And Purple Eagles doing a good job of getting sticks in the lanes and bodies in front as well. Allowing their goaltender to see the puck when he's had to make a save, but seeing a lot of these pucks just either go wide or deflected out of play.
Into the corner. Puck squirts loose. Near side. Niagara with it. Off a couple of sticks just outside the zone. McLean loses his handle of the puck. Now he's racing after it. D to D. Purple Eagles with it inside their zone. Flipped up in the air, glove down, kept in by Maryville as that shot goes off the stick and just wide of the cage. Rimmed around behind the net. Up in the air, off the boards. Brett Ursulak just inside the blue line, looks up. He'll peel off, try it again. Chartier with it at the blue line of Niagara. Trying to find Campbell McLean. Off the glass, bouncing puck kept in by Vermeersch. James Vermeersch trying to lift the stick. Niagara able to come out with it. Bellinger, he has 3 goals tonight. He loses the puck. Vermeersch to the near side, Chartier. Chartier, can he get on the scoreboard again? Chartier, shot on. Blocker save made. Bouncing puck, comes out of the zone. Henderson at the red line. Good job getting a stick on that as the puck is floated inside the zone. After it is Henderson. Vermeersch on the other side, waiting for it, but it's flipped out of the zone. Glove down by Poirier, now to the near side for Logan Gallagher, who throws it in. McEwen will stop things behind the net. Breakout attempt coming for Niagara. With speed, Kalen off the wall. 6:30 left to go here in period number 3 as Ewan Poirier finds Sam Edwards. He'll play it off the wall and skate after it. Taylor to the far side. It bounces over a stick. Shot on. Didn't make its way through. At the hash marks. Saints still with it. Good play by Corpse. Drags. Shoots one on. That one hit off a skate. To the near side. Wagner funnels one towards the net. It hit off a stick. Perhaps the stick of McEwen. As that one is flipped out of the zone. The referee has his arm up. The linesman has his arm up. 5:55 left to go here in period number 3 as someone will be heading to the sin bin. And it looks to be DiMatteo. So the Saints will have another power play. If they score on this one, it'll be a 3-goal game with 5 minutes and some change left to go. I still think this one is a little too far out of reach for the Saints, but they can still finish this one strong and take that momentum going into the next series against Simon Fraser.
So you're saying there's a chance?
There's always a chance. Some chances are a little bit easier than others. Kick that off the draw. In the corner. Saints with it. Oh, and Max Wagner can't keep it in. Wagner will retrieve it inside of his own zone. He'll leave it for Ursulak. Ursulak crosses his own blue line, finds Lottie, who enters into the zone. He'll stop and set things up for the Saints. Ursulak back to Zloty, top of the circle, far side, finds Ursulak. He'll peel off, looks up, finds Zloty. Zloty shoots one on, that shot's blocked. Back to Wagner. Wagner with it, drags, shoots, another blocked shot for Niagara as they clear the zone. Niagara has done a fantastic job tonight blocking shots. And when those shots aren't blocked, as that one goes offside with 4:59 left to go in regulation. If they're not blocking shots, Brady McEwen has been making stops. He's done a great job tonight, stopping 33 of 35.
Yeah, overall, it's just been a good team effort from the Purple Eagles. They've done the little things that are necessary to pick up a win. They were really, I'd say probably except for maybe 10 minutes total this game thus far, they've been the better team. Maryville's had some flurries here and there. They just haven't been able to capitalize. As we've seen, they've gone 0 for 5 with the power play here tonight. They're on their 6th. Just trying to get some zone time.
Henderson with speed, wheels around the cage, to Edwards. Edwards steps into one. Was looking for Chartier back door. Hit off a stick. Chartier gets it back. Chartier forehand. Shots blocked by a stick. And the puck is sent down the length of the ice. Less than 30 seconds to go on the Purple Eagle minor. Henderson at the red line. Now to the near side for Edwards. Edwards gets it in. Edwards on his forehand. Edwards still with it. Sauce pass for Corpse. Corpse far side. Henderson's shot. Must have grazed off his stick. It went too high of the cage. Corpse at the goal line. Tries to stuff it. McEwen there to make the stop. We're back to 5-on-5. That shot goes wide. Able to come out with it is Furlong. Now into the skates of Vasco. Vasco has a man driving. That's Furlong. His shot goes wide and out of play. 3:39 left to go here in the third period. 6-2 the score in favor of Niagara. They could have made it 7-2. When we talk about the rankings and whatnot and goal differential, this one's got a sting for the Maryville Saints tonight.
Yeah, I mean, you knew that Niagara was more than capable of coming in here and pulling off a win, but you just didn't expect the scoreline to go this direction.
Far side of the ice, that one's chopped at by Luke McLeod. Puck in the zone for Turcotte. Turcotte to the backhand, looking for McLeod. It's intercepted and flipped out of the zone. Gallagher with it. Off the glass. That one just went right past the glove of Felix Turcotte. And we'll have ourselves a whistle and an icing called with 3:15 left here in regulation.
Well, it's also interesting to note the disparity between the two games, because even though Maryville won by 2 yesterday, it was an incredibly close game right towards the end. Maryville got a goal with about 1 minute and 13 seconds left to get them the 2-goal lead. But we talked about how that was very reminiscent of a game that you would see in the tournament. Very tight checking. The scoring opportunities didn't come in bunches. You kind of had to make each one count. And then on the flip side, just Maryville hasn't been on point here tonight, and the Purple Eagles have been.
Well, you're not going to get a great game every single game out of your guys. But what really matters is how you respond. And the Saints had a 3-game losing skid. They responded against Liberty on the road. They picked up a huge win. Then they picked up a 4-2 win last night on home ice. Looking for a winning streak. Unfortunately, that will not be the case as time ticks down here in the third period. As there's a shot on, McEwen makes another stop. He's been fantastic tonight for the Purple Eagles. Saints with it inside their own zone. 2 minutes left on the clock. Ursulak skates up ice. Head up. Pass too far out front. Arm is up, no icy. McCormick for Niagara. Far side, crosses the blue line, hits the red, enters into the zone, still with it. McCormick with speed. McCormick to the backhand. That one grazed off a stick. Vermeersch. Puck behind the net now for Maryville as Ursulak will play it behind the net. Less than 90 seconds to go in this one. Ursulak hits the big red in, dumps it in. Off the glass, McEwen out of the cage, throws it around the wall. Bounces off the glass, it's kept in by McElwain. Ursulak, his shot, waffle boarded to the far side of the ice. I've always wanted to say that, Todd, waffle boarded.
Nicely done.
The great Doc Emmerich. Wish he was still calling games at the NHL. Less than a minute to go here in this one. The juice has not been there tonight. It was for about 3 minutes for Maryville. And then Niagara put 3 on the board in the first period, and they have not looked back since. Corpse at the red line, fires one on. McEwen with the stop. Thought about playing it, will put a glove on it, and maybe this is where the physicality ramps up. We saw it happen last night with 50 seconds left in the game. There's 25.2 ticks left on the clock here in the third, but it looks like that will not be the case tonight.
Yeah, I mean, you made a great point. It just hasn't been there tonight for Maryville. They've been slightly off their own game. Just the vibe the entire game, it just wasn't there. Like the bounces haven't gone their way. They didn't make their own luck. They weren't skating as well as Niagara has. You could just kind of, this is one of those games that there's a lot to learn from, but you also kind of just chuck the video out and say, hey, we just have to be better in all facets.
Flipped out of the zone. Rutkai waits for it. Finds Corpse. 10 seconds left to go in this one. Rutkai gets it back. Off the stick of Henderson. Bouncing puck inside the Niagara zone. I'm sure they'll just kill that clock as time ticks down, and that'll do it. A 6-2 victory for the Purple Eagles. They split with the Saints. The Saints hoping for the sweep this weekend. Unfortunately, they dropped the game tonight. You never want to lose those Saturday games heading into Sunday. Unfortunately for both teams in the Maryville program at the D1 level, they do so. An unfortunate evening if you're a Saints fan. 40 shots for the Saints, 28 for the Purple Eagles. As both teams will shake hands. A hard-fought victory for Niagara tonight. Friday night was entertaining. This one, not so much if you're a Saints fan. We'll break down this one with our final thoughts coming up next. So don't go anywhere. A 6-2 victory for Niagara. We'll be right back here on the Maryville Saints Hockey Network.
Welcome to Maryville University.
Welcome to Saints Nation.
Home of the Big Red M.
So what does it mean to be a Maryville Saint?
It's more than just going to classes.
As Saints, we are passionate about what we believe in.
We are open-minded and curious about other points of view.
And we know this about life at Maryville.
Your best experiences will happen when you get involved.
Make sure to get involved on campus.
We work hard.
But we have a lot of fun too.
We have a passion to see each other succeed.
You might have a few hiccups along the way.
Or maybe something more serious.
When we run into adversity,
We have faculty and staff here to provide support.
we stand with our fellow Saints through the good times.
And the difficult times.
So be sure to seek out help when you need it.
We know that here at Maryville,
We are never alone.
the spirit of Maryville flows through each person that steps foot on our campus.
Being a Saint is that feeling that Maryville University is your community.
That even when you're far away from home,
You are home.
We're on this journey together.
We are Maryville University.
One team, one family.
Welcome back to the Maryville Saints Hockey Network. The Purple Eagles of Niagara pick up a 6-2 victory on the road. An unfortunate loss for the Saints as they were looking for the sweep this weekend. Todd, we know the Saints have a very skilled team. They have a good team. There's a reason why they are consistently ranked in the top 10 year after year. But it seems like consistency might be the issue with this team.
Yeah, and you could make excuses if you wanted that they've brought in a new influx of players. And you're still trying to kind of figure out where everybody fits and stuff. But there's too much talent on this team for that to really be an excuse. They've played together enough weeks now to where guys need to know what their roles are, what they're expected to do every single night. And as you said towards the end of the game, you're not going to have it every single game. But
right.
You'd like to, if you're talking about consistency, you'd like to still see a consistent effort. You don't mind, you're going to lose games. Nobody goes an entire season undefeated. But when it's just the way that you lose seems to differ every single time, it's just a little bit kind of, you're scratching your head.
Absolutely. I also think this team not having what we believe to be their best lineup, they're mixing and matching, putting players in. There's some players that are out that we're used to seeing in the lineup game by game by game, and those players are not playing. They did not play in this series. So you have to think, okay, once time goes by and you start getting some healthy bodies, maybe this team looks a little bit different. But for tonight, it just didn't go their way.
Yeah, and that was something that I was starting to think about in this game because Brett Ursulak did a good job. He stepped up. He was the quarterback on the power play. The power play has kind of struggled all year long, with the exception being the first couple weeks of the season. But to your point, they're missing 3 key defensemen for various reasons, whether it be injury or personal stuff going on behind the scenes that's very understandable. But we're starting to kind of notice that those people aren't there. And the guys that have stepped up last night or even in flashes here tonight, they've done a good job. But you'd like to see everybody in their proper positions. You'd like to see what this team can accomplish when everybody's healthy, because whether it's somebody like Lucas Adams, who's technically a forward, he's being forced to play a defenseman.
For a long time now.
Right, yeah. I mean, this is 3 or 4 weeks now, and he's done a good job.
Yeah.
But you'd like to see him as a forward. You want to have Coach Hogan having to make roster decisions based on how people are playing, not because of injury.
Absolutely. Well, tonight was not the night for the Saints. They lose by 4. When you look at tonight's game, what ultimately did it come down to that led to the loss?
I mean, there's so many different things. It just you didn't get things rolling. I mean, they got the first goal of the game, but then you allow another quick one. I think if you want to boil it down to its simple terms, special teams has to be pointed out. I mean, you go 0 for 6 with the power play. You allow 2 power play goals against. If you get those things ironed out a little bit, maybe you get 1 goal on the power play, you don't allow the 2 power play goals, maybe it's a different story. So many different things happen throughout the course of 60 minutes, but if you kind of center it around one thing, you got to win the special teams battle, and that just didn't happen tonight.
Well, we'll see if they can bounce back. They take on Simon Fraser for 2 games, then they have a date with McKendree, and then they'll be back on home ice on November 15th against Purdue Northwest. For everyone watching tonight, we appreciate you tuning in, not only to tonight's game, but into last night's game as well. For Eric Skelton, our producer, for Todd Panula, I'm Andrew Marsh. A 6-2 victory for the Niagara Purple Eagles. Everyone have a great evening. Have a great rest of your weekend, and we'll see you next time right here on the Maryville Saints Hockey Network.